Yo, how's it going, guys? It is Camden here, and today we're gonna be comparing new and old Prodigy. Alrighty guys, so as you can obviously see, my wizard looks a little bit different, and that's because Prodigy just had a brand new update where they literally changed what their wizards looks like. But I wanted to go back and compare what is this wizard looks like to old Prodigy. How are things different? What has changed? And that's what we're gonna look at in today's video. But before we get started, guys, please, I really want to hit 100,000 subscribers, and we are so close. So please go down below, hit that subscribe button, because when I reach 100,000 subscribers, I'm gonna be giving away an epic to one of you who goes down below, hits that subscribe button with post notifications on. But anyways, guys, let's get started. Alrighty guys, so right here I simply have some gameplay footage. This is a video on my second channel, and as you can see, this was back when Prodigy was normal. Look at all the characters, look at town square. Things look a little bit different. Now if we go back to today and we go to that literally exact spot in Prodigy, you're gonna notice that things are slightly different, guys. Now first off, everything besides, basically everything besides the characters in town square has stayed the same. Of course, we got the wheels right here, we got that, we got the center is basically the same. Basically all of this looks exactly similar, but obviously elephant in the room, the biggest thing that has changed is of course the characters. Now just looking closely at it, this is what my character looks like now. Get a good look at it. If we go to a part in the video where I zoom in, this is what the old wizard looked like zoomed in. Now first thing off the bat I notice is that its head is very circular and its body is kind of short, right? So its head is a very big focus of the character. It almost looks like a bobblehead because look at how small the neck is. Seriously, that neck is extremely small. Now we go and look at this, it does have that same effect, but the head is kind of more rectangular-ish, if that kind of makes sense, and the body is also more skinny, but the neck is still small, so I guess they didn't really change that. But going back to this, another thing that I want to point out is the eyes. Now basically this was the this was basically the animation when you blinked. Was there even an animation? There was not an animation when you blinked with your eyes, so his head's basically just bobbing up and down and looking like that. We go back to new Prodigy. If you notice, this guy's actually gonna blink every few seconds, which is way more realistic than the old character, and instead of just bouncing up and down, he is a more natural kind of like falling and flowing in between and stuff like that. Now that's not all. Obviously the character looks different. Another big takeaway I have is of course the hair. This is the same hairstyle as my other, or basically an old Prodigy. I haven't switched it whatsoever, and this is kind of what it looks like in new Prodigy. But if you go back here, you can tell it is slightly different. Now first off, you can kind of see both sides of the hair right here, where here it's more that you can kind of only see one side, and this looks a lot more fluffy, while this looks like it has more like depth and stuff like that, if that kind of makes sense. And of course the colors also look very different. This is a much lighter pink, while this is more of kind of like a darker like magenta kind of pink. But enough about the characters, let's talk about the animations. Now of course the thing that's gonna jump out to almost everyone is the fact that when you move, it looks way different. This looks like this guy's almost galloping. He's holding his wand in his hand like this, and this is kind of what it looks like. Now if we go back to Prodigy right here, a big thing that I guess people really aren't talking about when you go here is that people are not holding their wands right now, right? This is normal town square, and people do not have their wands out. Now you take a look at this, or if you go back into main town square, every single person has a wand that they're displaying. So that's a really cool part about this update that I don't think people are talking about, is the fact that they made it so you can see what wands you're using. That's always been something I didn't really like, is you couldn't really tell what wand someone was using, but now of course I can see it, I can show it off, put it on display. In fact, if I literally change my wand to something like, let's change it to like the undroppable mic, as you can see I'm holding it in my hand, so I think that's pretty cool. And of course the running looks very different. But we have not talked about a big part of this character update, and of course that's got to be the outfits themselves, because of course if they change the character, they gotta change the outfits. That's just something they kind of have to do, right? So, for example, this is the Frostbeard's class. I'm gonna go ahead and put on something I wear a lot, like the Mirror's robes, which in fact happens to be, or does not happen to be. Let's switch back here. I'm gonna change my outfit real quick. I think I was wearing one of the bounties. That was what I was wearing, one of the bounty suits. I do kind of have to find this because everything looks different. It's much harder to find some of the things. Now that is gonna take a little bit of getting used to, but for now I guess we are just gonna go with it. Let's just say we're just gonna take a look at the difference. So I'm gonna go ahead right here. Let's just go ahead and put on let's just go ahead and put on the let's just put on the Mirror's robes, right? This is what it looks like here. It's a very skinny build. As you can see in Mirror's robes, I have those wings. Now you go back here and take a look at it. It looks different. Just the textures of what you're wearing looks different. Now I don't see anyone with Mirror's robes here, but as you can see, this guy's the Draconox Armor. So if I go on and actually put on the Draconox Armor, you're gonna see there is quite a bit of difference. Over here, it's a lot darker red. If you can see this person right here, it's a lot smaller, I guess you could say. Now you take a look at this guy, its wings are spread out all the way. It looks like it's very, very buff. It kind of has like things on the shoulders that it's doing. So I thought that was a pretty cool change. But overall, the outfits themselves just look different. And then of course we can't miss the wands. There was a bunch of changes with the wands. Now this video I actually go over some of the things you can go ahead and wear, right? So let's go ahead and see what wands I was talking about. These were some of the wands and what it looked like basically in the old version of Prodigy. So take a look at the Gizmotron. Now if we go right here, right, and we look at the basically exact same wand, but in this version of Prodigy, if we can actually go ahead and find the Gizmotron, it should be here. It looks different. This is what it looks like here, and take a look at what it looks like right there. So it is a very, very big difference, I'm not gonna lie, and that's just one of them, right? If we go ahead and just go over to something even as simple as like the Ivory Star, right? The Ivory Star isn't that crazy. Here it's much sharper in its edges, and right here it's a lot more bubbly. And then the Dragon Wing is a really cool change. I really like this Dragon Wing wand. That looks really, really cool, and I do honestly love the way these characters looks. I love that you're holding out these wands. This Draconox gear I think is really, really cool. So it does change a lot of how to look cool in Prodigy. This wand looks sick and stuff like that. And of course the battles are pretty similar. The pets are basically the exact same, and the hats surprisingly stayed fairly similar. Now of course this is the bandana here, and if we go ahead and take a look at this video, I think I talk about the bandana somewhere in this video. It does look basically the exact same as you can see right there. But what are your guys' thoughts? Do you guys like this new update? Make sure to comment down below what you guys think about this, and please go down below, subscribe with post notifications on. I really want to hit 100,000 subscribers. But anyways guys, I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.